Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the unmasked character of our world around us, and this time we will try to respond to one question from my viewers, my followers, who asked me the following question: why do we have increasing number of women who are and seemingly in the nearest future will be childless and will never find a partner for solid long-term relationship? Because many of these women have short relationships or accidental intercourses, so majority of them is not completely sexless, but they cannot form a solid long-term relationship. And the reason for that, I do not want to go to long deliberations. The reason for that is following, in my opinion: wasting of two the most precious resources we have in life: our time and our money. What I mean by this: wasting our time, especially with respect to young people nowadays, in particular women, is that education takes so long, and there is also bombardment of propaganda that career, high dependence. Plus, there is also this scale of physical attractiveness. And if woman on this scale from 1 to 10 has position N, she always looks above for position N plus 2 or N plus 3. And now there is no social pressure to marry, there is no mating, there is no pairing by family or friends in many cultures, so women are officially free to select. So they are always aiming for the much higher candidate in terms of attractiveness, physical, financial, and so on. Of course, the number of the most attractive guys is limited, and they have far more choices than one can imagine. So they are selecting the women who are much less problematic for them, do not argue, are agreeable, and so on. Women who are attractive and not agreeable, they very often cannot find anybody. And of course, the most attractive women are also not so numerous as 30-40%. So why do we have this high percent of women who, as I said, cannot form a long-term stable relationship? It's simple: because they wasted their time for purchasing for a candidate that is not achievable for them, or for so-called career and so-called development. So they lost their time, and they also lost their money for chasing for candidates who are not for them, because they were told, even if you are 3 or 4 on the scale, always behave as if you were 9 or 10. Always be 10. So people lost their feeling exactly what's their position on the mating market, and they were aiming to the groups that are not for them. So they were wasting money and time. Also, many people nowadays, as I already mentioned, waste their time for long education, and very often it's sad, but very often they cannot even find the job in profession for which they are qualified. So we see that it's completely loss of time. In many countries this is the case. So we need to also be aware that we have two the most precious variables, exchangeables in life: time, we cannot buy, and money. To some extent we can earn them, but once we earn less, once we earn more, depending on our period of life. That's why we need to manage these two, the main important resources in our life, well, and find, I do not like this word, but this is the only word I have in my mind now, find a proper balance, or one should say equilibrium, between our life at work, life at home, and we need to use the resources, these, especially these two, the most precious one, time and money, as, as wise as possible. Otherwise, we will sentence ourselves for failure. So this is how I see it. So bad management of time and money, and just briefly succumbing to propaganda that that overrates our value on the mating market, and confuses many people who are aiming at the candidates partners who are not for them, because they are confused by nowadays consumptionism and social propaganda, that even if you are at the level of 3 or 4 in the attractiveness scale, you should behave as 10. Of course, you are not 10, and you will not get 10, because 10 has much more other choices. All the best, have a nice day, bye.